My name's Pioneer Winter. I'm a choreographer, born and raised in Miami, based in Miami. I just identify as a queer man. Queer being an expression of both your desires for yourself as well as your desires for others. You can also, without feeling queer, be queered. You can be queered because of your race or your physical ability or disability. Think about it, I think, most often in its broad sense, but I also understand that we do want to keep queer and not lose it, not lose our agency over that word that we've reclaimed after it being used as a slur, finding our power in it. I think it's still a word that maybe older generations still flinch at.
Do you remember your first time coming out to yourself and coming out to other people?
I don't know if I ever came out to myself. I think I was just always really clear, and it was always early on about coming out to others. I think also I have a privilege of being in a field that doesn't often require me to come out over and over again. That certain things are, for better or worse, assumed.
That's interesting. Yeah. Do you think that male dancers often have to come out as straight if they are?
Yeah, it's kind of the reverse, right? Where the minority shifts. I grew up really lucky where my parents almost facilitated my queerness by being okay with me getting baby dolls or Barbies or dressing up, wearing heels.
Being interested in dance.
Yeah, I mean, because I started dancing when I was 3 because of my mom. Yeah, it's just, I just was lucky, you know. There wasn't anything that happened in my childhood that kept me stuck to an identity that wasn't mine. In my own community, I'm kind of seen as someone that makes work about a very particular experience. But also I think that the beauty of the work that I make with my collaborators and dancers and other artist friends is that it's not something that only applies to them. And I think that that's one of the biggest issues is wanting people to take ownership over a certain narrative without realizing then how that narrative can be applied across to many different people. Queer is also something that is not only something that a mantle that you're claiming, but also something that could be done to you. I work with dancers that might not identify as a member of the LGBTQ community, but because of how they are perceived through their outward appearance, they're queered. I'm not really drawn to dance for
the physicality.
I think it's just because I am not really that great a speaker or
Speak with your body.
Yeah, so it's this is the best way to be brave for me is to use the body. There's nothing more political than a body. Actions will infuriate us, but I haven't seen hatred in other people to the degree that I've seen when it's solely based upon someone's physicality.
What are 2 things that you know about yourself without need for reinforcement from others?
That if I need to, I can just pull it together. If something is important enough to me, I won't let it interfere. You know, that's kind of the way I am with my work, that a relationship could be just falling apart. The worst case scenario could be playing out, but I'm not gonna miss a rehearsal, or I'm not gonna miss, teaching because of that. Things can be falling apart, but never will I let it just everything go. It's just the nature of someone who dances that there's very little that wouldn't be helpful for me to be told by others. Even in this process here with Jacksonville Dance Theater, I think I'm probably the most critical of the process. And that just because I've made one good piece doesn't mean that the next piece is going to be good. being a maker, there's nothing more disempowering than thinking that it's random. You don't want to feel like it's just a fluke. Yeah, you can feel more inspired or less, but and sometimes processes are easier or more difficult. You can be a queer without living so performatively also. Like, I find that, like, I need to remind myself often that, like, queer people are not just artists, that you can, that it is enough just to unabashedly be yourself, that you don't need to be queer for the gaze of others.
Gaze in the gaze of others.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being so vulnerable with us.
Oh, that's nothing. Yeah, no, this is, yeah.
You
Like,
usually do it with your body, you did it with your words today.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know the details of your performance in September?
yes, it will be at Jacksonville University, Swisher Theater. The show starts at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are free for JU students and faculty. General admission is $20, and it'll be this new piece that I'm making with Jacksonville Dance Theater, as well as some work from their own rep, as well as a piece called Reprise, and I'm bringing up my own company. We'll be performing that, and that has a lot to do with allyship and sharing space, when that you can be an ally and an advocate as well as be queered yourself. The allies are not just straight supporters, that the allyship just comes in so many different forms. Yeah.
Can't wait to see it.
I'm excited.
Yay!
Tat, 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 tat. Tat, 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 between tat. Tat, 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 tat.